Have you ever just stopped and felt like your focus is totally shot? Like it's getting harder and harder to just sit down and concentrate on something that really matters? Well, you are definitely not alone. In this explainer, we're going to dig into how our modern habits are literally re-architecting the way our brains work, and, more importantly, what we can actually do about it.
So, to really get a handle on this, I want you to picture something. Think of your brain like a garden. Is it a dynamic, flourishing garden that you're out there tending to, cultivating, helping it grow? Or has it become more like a collection of plastic flowers? Easy to maintain, they don't change, but they're not really alive. And right here, this is the core trade-off we're all making every single day. The plastic flowers, they're easy. They're rigid, they never change, and they take zero effort. But the catch is, they never truly grow. Real growth, on the other hand, well, that's hard work. It demands things like solitude for deep thinking, it needs real curiosity, and it requires you to adapt. That's where the real magic happens.
Okay, so if our brain is a garden, what are we doing to it all day? For a lot of us, we're basically flooding it with salt water. We're chasing this rush that feels really good in the moment, but in the long run, it's just poisoning the soil. This, my friends, is the dopamine trap. Just think about it for a second. When you're doom scrolling, and for a lot of people that's over 2 hours a day, or you're just binge watching a show, you're not just killing time. You are actively training your brain. You're teaching it to expect and, frankly, to crave this endless stream of super easy, instant rewards. And that makes it so much harder to focus on anything that requires real, sustained effort. In this cycle right here, it's kind of insidious. It all starts with something simple. A scroll, a swipe, maybe a quick snack. Your brain gets that little hit of dopamine, that little feel-good chemical. But here's the problem. Over time, your brain's threshold for what feels engaging, it goes up. And pretty soon, the normal, slower pace of reading a book or doing deep work feels incredibly boring. Your brain starts craving more and more of those instant hits just to feel normal.
Okay, does this sound at all familiar? That need to always have a podcast on, or a show playing in the background, maybe music blasting just to do simple tasks? That's not really multitasking. Some people call it the fear of silence. It's a huge symptom that our brains have been rewired to avoid the quiet space we actually need for real thinking.
And the antidote to that fear? It's this: solitude. We have to completely reframe what this word means. Solitude isn't about being bored or lonely. It's an essential, incredibly powerful tool. It is the quiet space where deep reflection, where complex problem solving, and where real creativity actually happen. It's where the real gardening gets done.
Now, it's not just about what we're flooding our brains with, it's also about what we're depriving them of. In our whole hustle culture, so many of us wear sleep deprivation like it's some kind of badge of honor. But honestly, it's one of the most destructive things we can do to our minds.
We've all heard somebody brag about it, right? Or maybe we've even done it ourselves. Oh man, I'm running on just 4 hours of sleep. We treat it like it's a sign of how tough or dedicated we are. But the science on this is crystal clear. This isn't a badge of honor. It's a form of self-sabotage, and it has serious, measurable consequences. And let's be blunt about what's happening here. When you consistently skip out on sleep, your brain performs as if you are intoxicated. I mean, literally. You're preventing your brain's cleaning crew from coming in and clearing out all the toxins that build up during the day. So your judgment is impaired, your memory gets wrecked, and your ability to make good decisions just tanks. You wouldn't show up to an important meeting drunk, so why is it okay to show up in a state of cognitive impairment because of no sleep?
Okay, so we've talked about the salt water and the neglect. It's not all doom and gloom. So how do we fight back? It's time to start tilling the mental soil. It's time to actively cultivate some real intelligence.
The answer isn't some simple life hack or a strict set of rules. That's just planting more plastic flowers. Real intelligence, the kind that flourishes, is the result of consistent hard work. It means embracing that sometimes uncomfortable solitude, actively fueling your own curiosity by asking questions, and practicing how to adapt when you face new challenges.
And this is why all of this matters so much. These small daily habits, like resisting that urge to scroll, choosing an extra hour of sleep, or just sitting in silence for 10 minutes, they aren't just about feeling a little bit better today. They have a massive impact on your entire future.
And all of this connects directly to a really famous psychological experiment you've probably heard of, the marshmallow test. The setup was simple. Kids were offered one marshmallow right now, or if they could just wait a few minutes, they could have two. It's a simple test of delayed gratification, but what it predicts about our future is just astounding.
I mean, look at this table. It lays it out perfectly. On one side, you've got those instant gratification habits. That's the salt water of swiping, snacking, scrolling. It's the adult version of taking that one marshmallow right now. And the research shows a direct link between these actions and long-term struggles. But on the other side, you have the delayed gratification, the tilling of the soil. That's reflection, effort, patience. And that is what leads to a harvest of long-term success in the exact same areas: your money, your health, and your education.
So, it all comes back to this one idea. Every single day, with every little choice you make, you are the gardener of your own mind. You can choose the easy plastic flowers of distraction and instant pleasure, or you can do the hard, rewarding work of tilling the soil. So the question I'll leave you with is, what will you choose to grow?